Tammy's ready.
Scott, come back down through the aisle again to get Ian.
Everybody.
Mold each of our lives, thus creating a group of individuals with the power to influence not only this little community, but this planet as a whole. The world is our stage, and we are the directors now, especially in this new and open decade of which we are the first class to graduate. Many of us will be leaving this close-knit community and heading on to various locations, not only around the United States, but the world as well. As young people of this small town and school system, we were never repressed by limits, but rather encouraged to go beyond what we were introduced to in the classroom. I'm certain that the international exposure, such as the trips to Europe and the Soviet Union that many Lyman students have experienced, will prove to be essential elements of our future careers, since many business markets, technological, and medical advancements are already in effect on an international basis. As the wall comes down in Berlin, so too must the cultural, social, and economic barriers around the rest of the world. The Soviet Union has already begun to show a newfound acceptance of our own Western political philosophy. In recent years, the citizens of the world have joined efforts for causes such as Amnesty International and the famine in Africa. Here, too, in America, there is a growing awareness of racism and other prejudices. Constitutional rights, such as the freedom of speech in both music and protest, have been under intense examination recently. These are just some of the chisels currently being used to tear down these barriers. We are the ones who will bring in the heavy machinery. Today is definitely a day to celebrate. However, there is still a sense of sadness amongst my classmates because we are being forced to realize that we must part and go our separate ways. I realized that a sense of family had developed over the years when I returned from my year in France last year. Only in such a small institutional environment could I have left for so long and then returned to such a warm atmosphere that I still felt very much a part of the class. We are at the conclusion of our high school careers, just as we are at the dusk of this century. At the same moment, we are at the debut of our adult lives and the dawn of this decade. Throughout the past, we have depended upon some very important people, our parents, our teachers. They were always there cheering us on no matter what. Even though the times have changed and brought about a different set of values, new styles, and music, our mothers, fathers, and teachers have drawn upon that wisdom of life experience in order to share its benefits with us as we stand here today confident that we will succeed. Our parents grew up in an era overcast by political unrest in the Vietnam War. In direct contrast, ours is a generation that has never experienced the horrors of war, but rather has witnessed the evidence that peace and international unity are rapidly augmenting our democratic world. This is especially true today of the current situation in both Eastern and Western Europe. As new decision makers, we are faced with many challenges, including the struggle to bring about total human equality and the need to advocate worldwide political freedom and the growing necessity to work together as human beings in an effort to save this planet from total destruction. It is quite possible that members of this very class will work towards causes such as Greenpeace, Amnesty International, or even global representation at the UN. Each step of our journey has brought us closer to today's achievement. At times, we tiptoe along in awe, like in 7th grade. Occasionally, we'd run wild, as in this senior year. Yet sometimes we need a little nudge, like the first day at the elementary school when our parents stuck a "Hello, my name is" sticker on our chest, and then sent us off in charge of strangers. However, we would soon refer to these caring people as teachers, while they quickly gained our respect and admiration. That first day, the teachers placed silver, gold, green, blue, and red stars on our name tags, and then sent each of us off on our own academic trail. Today, once again, as our journey draws to an end, they place the ultimate reward in our hands. Yet this time, we will choose which roads we will take.
business. The recipient is Brian Monroe. The Lyman Faculty Courage Award. This is awarded to a senior who has displayed outstanding courage in the face of difficulties while at Lyman. The recipient is Julie Capel. The National Honor Society's Founders Award, given in memory of the founder, E. Fenn Norse, former principal of Lyman Memorial High School, and given by the former advisor, Mrs. Elizabeth Grant, who is here in the front row. And the recipient is Larissa Krantz. These next awards are very special to me because they come from the Parents Advisory Council at Lyman High School, and we started this 2 years ago as one of our goals was to raise scholarship money. So these are entitled the Lebanon Community Scholarships, and they're given to many people. This year we raised $2,700 thanks to your contributions from the parents, friends of Lyman, and local businesses, and we really appreciate this. These are awarded to a deserving member of the senior class who is planning to continue his or her education and based on academic achievement, community service, and need. The first recipient is Leslie Parkhurst. The next recipient, Julie Capel. The next one, Kyle Kane. Joe Soroviak. Larissa Krantz. Christy Maynard. Mark Heon. Allison Marr. The next scholarship is the Lebanon Elementary School PTO scholarship, and this is awarded to a senior who has displayed significant improvement in his or her classroom performance and desires to continue his or her education. The recipient, Sarah Kennedy. This next award, I'm going to ask Mr. Vertifay to come up because Mr. Vertifay started this scholarship last year when he was president of the Wyndham Community Hospital. I'm going to ask Mr. Vertifay to present this award. This is a $1,000 scholarship for someone who goes into the field of health or any health-related area. And this year's recipient is Heather Bosworth. And the final award that I have is the Hebron Lions Club Scholarship, and this is awarded to a Hebron resident who happens to be a Lyman senior, and that is Ed Colgan.
Before I continue the awards, I'd like to take a few moments to congratulate the seniors for their accomplishment, and also to all who are here present that have played a role in helping these young people attain their goal. The Roland Carding Memorial Scholarship is awarded to a senior student for ability and sincere interest in mathematics. This year, the recipient is Craig Wallace. The Neil Messick Athletic Award is awarded to the outstanding female athlete in the senior class. The recipient this year is Jacqueline Gervais. The Lyman Faculty Service Award is awarded to a senior who has rendered the greatest service to Lyman Memorial High School. This year's recipient is James Choquette. The Congressional Certificate of Merit is presented to a senior who had displayed outstanding academic achievement and continued service to his or her community. This year's recipient is Ken Miro. I'm going to ask Mrs. Grant to come up here and help me present this. It's the Elizabeth Grant Business Education Award. It's awarded to an outstanding business education student who plans to seek an entry-level position in the field of business. The recipient is Mary Bolden. The Willimantic Rotary Scholarship awarded to a graduating student who best represents the major principle of Rotary International, service above self. The award goes to Ken Miro. The Bulldog Booster Club Scholarship, awarded to a senior girl and boy voted by the coaching staff who has lettered in at least one varsity sport, including their senior year, and who is continuing their education at an institution of higher learning. The girl recipient is Renee Gilbo. And the male recipient is Kyle Kane. The Earth Growth Scholarship is awarded to a senior who is continuing their education in the field of agriculture, natural resources, or science. And the recipient is Edward Colgan. The Alma Hart Scholar Athlete Award is awarded to a senior who has achieved both academic and athletic excellence. And this year, it's presented to Ryan Paquette. The Brian Anderson Memorial Award is awarded to a senior for pursuing a vocational career at a technical college or a post-secondary vocational school. This year's recipient is John Pachowski. The Ethan Norris Memorial Award, awarded to a student who most nearly exemplifies a love and loyal support to his country, a courtesy and consideration for others, a loyalty to and a pride in Lyman, a sense of sportsmanship and fair play, self-control, honesty and integrity, and involvement in a range of activities, and a resident of Lebanon. And the award this year goes to Brian Monroe. The Susan Yerington Postemski Memorial Scholarship is awarded to a senior planning to pursue a career in veterinary science, and this award goes to Edward Colgan. The Thurston Booth May Memorial Award, awarded for excellence in some particular field. This year, the selection is for excellence in history, and it's awarded to Larissa Krantz. The Helen Rogers Memorial Scholarship, awarded to a senior for excellence in business education who intends to continue his or her education and pursue a career in the field of business. This year's recipient is Jacqueline Gervais. And the Mohegan Community College Nursing Program Scholarship, awarded to a graduating senior who's going into nursing, of course, is presented to Debbie Hover. Thank you.
The Lebanon Democratic Town Committee Award is awarded to an outstanding senior student in political science through 4 years at Lyman. This year's recipient is Robert Simmons.
Pleasure to be here tonight on behalf of the Republican Town Committee. At first, to congratulate the class of 1990, and secondly, to make our annual award to a person who has shown an interest in current and public affairs. This year's recipient is Mariah Lynch.
Got to see the world. I just began to see it. Whew. The Royal Woodward Scholarship is in honor of my late husband, who has served the town of Lebanon for 30 years as judge of probate, and was an attorney and farmer. And this award is going to Ryan Paquette, award to the senior who is a resident of Lebanon who plans to pursue a career in social science and agricultural related fields at four-year college. And I also, at the same time, present them a story that was written by Charles Randall of Lebanon that was put in the Louisville Examiner, so that they could know something about the person they were receiving the Memorial Award for. It seems kind of silly to give an award to people that don't know anything about. So this is what I've been doing. So I'd like to present this scholarship to Ryan Paquette.
Class of 1990, when you meet for your reunion, I would hope that you would remember this day for the day that it is, and also that it is
Flag Day. The Lebanon Lions Club was very happy to run a pancake breakfast to raise some monies for the class of 1990 so that you may have a substance-free and a happy party for that Thursday. Before I make the presentations, I must make some acknowledgments. I want to thank Sandy Shalafu for getting the scholarship awards together and processing them and typing the award letters. I would like to thank the two people that made the selections, Donna Sharon, who is the manager of the Willimantic Saving Institute in Lebanon, and Deborah Martin, who's the manager of the Willimantic Saving Institute in Franklin. Thank you. Now, we have two awards. One totals $1,000. Both are given for people that are going on for higher learning. And the one for $1,000 goes to Jacqueline Gervais. I'm sorry, Jackie. You get the $500 one. The $1,000 one goes to Andrea Lobo.
Each year, the FFA alumni gives out awards or scholarships and grants to a graduating senior in the FFA, either furthering their education or going on to other agricultural pursuits. This year, there are four. The first one is David Hyde. Second one is Eddie Colgan. Ted Petroulis. And Alan Rainville.
The Lebanon Community Chorus is pleased to give two monetary awards to two students who have excelled in service to the music department during their 4 years. The first one is to Leslie Parkhurst. And Laura Winspear.
Socrates said, "I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world." These words, spoken so long ago, are full of import, today especially, as we venture forth into the world. We are fortunate enough to be graduating in this, beginning of a new decade, and also the beginning of a new era of world peace and unification. Changes are taking place the world over that are producing for us and for our posterity a future that we may look forward to. Everywhere people are moving towards peace. Barriers are being broken down. The world is, due to improved communication, essentially becoming a smaller place. These circumstances make it easier for one to step out of their backyard and be not just a citizen of Lebanon or the United States, but of the world. A few months ago, I was afforded a fabulous opportunity. The opportunity I referred to was a trip to the Soviet Union. This trip and my prior trip to France enabled me to see that people really are the same everywhere. I don't believe anyone wants animosity between nations. In the weeks prior to my trip to the Soviet Union, I was quite apprehensive. I worried about the manner in which we, as American students, would be treated. To my delight, our treatment was wonderful. The people were exceptionally nice to us, treating us with respect and openness. They went out of their way to communicate with the other visitors and myself as well. Greatly impressed by this, I began to modify my attitudes towards the rest of the world. It didn't seem quite so large anymore, nor did the people seem so different. After coming to this realization, it seemed to me that peace throughout the world wasn't a fairy tale or something to be only in my wildest dreams. Rather, it actually seemed plausible. Now, in looking at the events occurring in countries all over the world, especially in Germany, South Africa, and the Soviet Union, I see new hope for the future. I remember a childhood of fears about nuclear war and constant strife among nations. Now it appears that the atmosphere is changing. Leaders are talking. There are serious thoughts about disarmament, and there is a spreading of democracy throughout the world. Every day on the news we hear of German reunification, more freedoms for blacks in South Africa, and more democratic movements in the USSR and other countries. For once, watching and listening to the news brings joy and hope rather than dread and fear. I feel blessed to be living in a time such as this, full of change and with such promise for the future. As Virgil said so many centuries ago, a God has brought us this peace. Although he...
And thank you for the opportunity to speak at the graduation of the class of 1990. Last week, I was called by the Hartford Courant about who was speaking at the graduation exercises. I told the reporter that Larissa, Andrea, Allie, and Bob were. The reporter on the phone continued, "Well, who's the guest speaker?" We usually don't have a guest speaker at Lyman graduations. The questioner went on with more information, looking for more information. She stated at RAM they were having Jerry Brooks tonight. You know, the journalist on Channel 3 who does the Brooks File and anchors the weekend news? Oh, I responded. And she continued, "Did you know that at E.O. Smith, the guest speaker is Dr. Samuel Pickering, who Robin Williams portrayed in the terrific film The Dead Poets Society, and he's a professor at the University of Connecticut?" I responded articulately again with another, "Oh." She pursued the conversation with a direct hit. "And who did you say the guest speaker will be?" Finally, I relented. I had to tell the truth. I am. Not a guest speaker. I'm not a guest speaker, but a speaker. So I'll call this the Chief's File of the poets living and dead. And this truly is an honor for me to speak each year, but particularly this year for this class. In many ways, this is also my graduating class, for I started as a Lyman principal on October 1st, 1984, when this group was in grade 7. By the way, I had brown hair then. So I've watched them mature into a marvelous group of young adults while they've watched me mature into greydom. This is a class that understands traditions, the traditions of history and the town of Lebanon and the traditions of Lyman. But they're also a group that can break traditions, the title of their yearbook, setting their own course and facing the future. So with that in mind, I have 3 brief suggestions to help them face a future in this changing, tumultuous world. There are 3 key words that I want you to remember: commitment, courage, and caring. The first C, commitment, is essential. Goals, both short and long term, must be set that you have something to reach or strive for. This is essential for your growth. You must be willing to try the uncharted and to risk. And risking is difficult. You must be even willing to risk failure, and sometimes we must suffer to be wise. But remember, fear of failure cannot stop you, for you must commit to what you believe and literally work to do your best in order to succeed. And I'll sneak another C word in here, that's confidence. You must believe and trust in yourself. Confidence allows you to take intelligent risks. It allows you to succeed, and it allows you to rebound if you fail. Have the commitment and confidence to seize the day. Have a carpe diem philosophy. Make the most out of each day, but yet remember where you've been and where you are going. Courage is the next C. Stand by your commitments and beliefs, even if they are temporarily unpopular.
Believe me, there are days when the heat will be on, your beliefs will be challenged, and your values challenged, and you'll have to respond to those challenges. Stand by what you believe and what's right in your value system. And as leaders, which I truly believe you will all be in the future, you'll have to know your roots and put action to your values and beliefs. And good future leaders will have to know when to be strong against the tide or a swift river current and when to bend so that the tree and the roots are not damaged or destroyed. My final C word is caring. In my opinion, there is no way you will be successful in your personal life without being caring adults. You must become sensitive to the needs of others in addition to being aware of your own needs. While you may presently be the apple of your parents' eyes and the center of your own universe, now you must become more responsible, cooperative, kind, loving young adults who are willing to reach out to family, friends, and community members. This caring attitude will help you become whole adults. Be the wind beneath someone else's wings. Well, I really have another C for you, and that is commencement. This is your new beginning, your new journey. Tonight is your culmination of 13 years of education. While the thesis of my talk from the Chief's file is to give you clues for future success, please take the opportunity tonight to thank all the people who have helped you reach this plateau. Your parents, your guardians, family, friends, teachers, mentors, and any other significant adults. Thank them for their kindnesses, their love, and their support. The future is yours, and I know you'll face that future with confidence. And I wish you much commitment, confidence, courage, and care in your lives. Thank you. Mr. Smith, it is my pleasure to present the graduates of the class of 1990. Larissa Ann Krantz. Andrea Bridget Lobo. Nicole A. Geiger. Ruthie Goka. Mary Cecilia Bolduck. Lucinda Lynn Smith. Jessica Lee Benor Schmier. Theodore Paul Petrulis Jr. Jennifer Lynn Wheaton. Leslie Hope Parkhurst. Stacy A. Robinson. Heather Lynn Bosworth. Kim Marie Rabideau. Indora Chaveras. Dana Lynn Gilbert. Christine S. Leone. Laura Lynn Winspear. Julie Ann Capel. Craig Matthew Wallace. Pamela Jean O'Keefe. Heidi M. Landon. Carolyn Ann Prescott. Deborah Elizabeth Hoover. Melissa Beth Graybeck. Renee Michelle Gilbo. Christy Ann Maynard. Jennifer K. Dexter. Sarah Andrea Kennedy. Billy Raymond Driscoll. Tanya Cecilia Jorgensen. Linda Ellen Leisure. Jacqueline Michelle Gervais. Tammy Marie Parmelo. Catherine Roseanne Petrowski. David Brewster Hyde. Neil F. Kelly. Allison Brianna Beatty. Matthew Thomas Cardinal. Alan G. Rainville III. Mark Brian Peon. Joseph William Soroviak. Edward Ellis Colgan. Kelly June Manning. Heidi Jo Marson. James G. Choquette. Kenneth R. Meralt. Allison Wells Marr. Mariah Christina Lynch. Carolyn Rachel Beige. John Paul Pachowski. Nathaniel F. Broomfield. Elizabeth Holly Rival. Douglas Wayne Pogany. Jeremy David Goldstein. Gregory M. Trabant. Philip Scott Merritt. Brian Scott Coalition. Donald J. Marino. Ryan Francis Paquette. Brian Todd Monroe. Kyle Patrick Kane. Gregory John Morrill. Eric Grant Vieira. Paul Michael Tracy. Eric Scott Manning. James Leonard Key. Christopher Brendan Medeiros. Ian Arthur Morrison. and Robert Leonard Nilsson. This next presentation isn't on the schedule, and to make it, I'd like to call Jim Choquette and Kenny Morrell.
All right, I'd like to call forward at this moment our class advisor, Mr. Mike Gilwood.
Give the class of 1990, we'd like to present this plaque to you. Can't possibly repay you for what you've done to us, but we'd like to give it to But we'd like to give it to you as a token of our appreciation. Thanks a lot.
And to wrap things up tonight, I'd like to quote from our invitation we sent out. I don't know how many people noticed what was said on it. Start a new chapter. I find what I'm after is changing every day. A change of the seasons, enough of a reason to want to get away. Quiet and pensive, my thoughts apprehensive, the hours drift away. Leaving my homeland, playing a lone hand, my life begins today.
Scott?
You do, isn't it amazing?